So what's the latest on Deflategate? Where do you realistically see this going?
I don't. Just a gut feeling that I don't think you're going to see discipline. I mean, this is not certain, but I don't think you're going to see discipline before Super Bowl. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that you got to do something to Belichick before the Super Bowl. Well, I think the one thing the Ray Rice case has taught the NFL is make sure that you have every T crossed, every I dotted, and know everything possible that you can know about this. And plus, the other thing is, Michael, they, on a situation like this, they owe it in big investigations like this to allow the Patriots to basically mount a thorough defense if they attempt to protest whatever charges. And, I mean, it's likely, clearly, that there's going to be some charges against the Patriots out of this for sure, but I still don't think it's certain. So I think there's so much we don't know yet that it's hard to project the end game here.
And when you talk to people around the NFL who say that, it's the quarterback that may be the one that may have more knowledge of it than head coach, I mean, is it possible that when this is all said and done that Tom Brady could be the one that the fingers are pointed more at than Bill Belichick?
Of course, anything is possible, Don. We don't know. I think that's the difficulty, pardon the siren, the difficulty in this 24/7 social media news every 5 minute society is that some things to do right take time. This thing is going to take more time than the 5 minutes that America wants it to take. And so, we don't know the story yet, and so we have to find out what the story is before deciding what, if any, sanctions are handed down.
Peter, you've been covering sports for a long time, and the thing that gets me, I almost look at this as Nixon-esque. Nixon was going to crush McGovern without Watergate. They were going to crush the Colts and all like that. Why did they feel something happened? We have no idea to what extent and who's involved.
Michael,
why do it?
Let me ask you this question.
Right.
And I'm not saying because I have no idea. Suppose this has been happening for 10 years every week. I mean, we don't know anything. Suppose there's something fluky here and it's not the case. It's not what it seems. I don't know. That's one thing that does occur to me about a lot of this stuff. Gary Myers wrote this about Bob Kraft and about Bill Belichick once, that Kraft asked him, on a scale of 1 to 100, how much did this stuff with Spygate help us win? And Belichick said 1, and Kraft said to him, according to Kraft, well, then you're a real schmuck. And, I think a lot of people would agree with you that if he was doing something that, is like using a 100-pound weight to crush a gnat, well, he's probably overdoing it. But, again, it's way too early to ascribe motives or anything like that because we don't know what happened. But, people who are controlling people, and Bill Belichick they want to control every aspect of, what it's going to take to win or lose. But, again, I hesitate in going too far on that because how the heck do we know what exactly happened? We don't.
Right.
But if it's the worst-case scenario, meaning that Bill Belichick did know, he ordered it, this is another example of cheating from his past.
I think if Belichick is found to be culpable and he ordered it, they can find clear evidence, then in my opinion, at the start of the next year, he deserves a suspension. How long? I don't know. I mean, we have to see what else would be involved. But I think that's why you've got to be so careful, and you've got to go through such a thorough investigation. People forget the investigation of Bountygate with the Saints. They actually had 2 separate investigations. They investigated a lot right after the Super Bowl, or the NFC Championship game against Green Bay, and they couldn't fire against Minnesota. I'm getting my Favre teams wrong. but they investigated at once and couldn't find enough proof that the Saints had done anything wrong. Then they got into forensic examination of emails in all over the Saints building throughout all people. That's when they found all the evidence that a bounty culture actually existed inside the Saints. So that, I mean, I have no idea what lengths that the NFL is going to go to with this, but I have a feeling that this could take a while. I mean, Troy Vincent said yesterday they hope to have it wrapped up in a couple of days. Who knows? Maybe it will. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I just find it hard to believe that this thing is going to be wrapped up in a couple of days and the NFL could leave themselves open to so much second-guessing if more is found out to be true, say, after the season.
Don't you think, though, that Roger Goodell not only ruling on this, but he's trying to make up the ground he lost on the Rice stuff and all the mistakes they made? There are people, I guess you can't throw chum to the screaming crowd, but people want a pound of flesh here to see that Roger Goodell's going to do the right thing.
That's why, to me, Goodell, as he's done through this whole Rice process, he just simply has to take the slings and arrows of everybody who wants Belichick nailed to the cross yesterday. And he has to basically say, we're going to be thorough in this investigation. Let us investigate. Then after they investigate it, whatever they find, then you can, you can criticize them or hold them up to scorn. But I think it's more important that they get this right than that they do it fast.